So let's try to understand this preamble. So a little bit brief history of preamble. Okay, the what preamble says, the meaning of all of that we will try to understand, and then some legal status of preamble. These three things we will discuss. So first one is the basic facts and history related to the preamble. Okay, so just to give you an idea, so this Constituent Assembly was constituted in November 1946. So history, may you will read all these things. I will give you a handout also. Later you can read it. I don't want to go into that. So on November 1946, even before independence, okay, so Constituent Assembly was constituted. So under the British Cabinet Mission Plan, so when India was fighting for its freedom at the end, British thought, okay, fine, it is time to give independence to India. They sent a committee, a mission called as Cabinet Mission. Okay, so three-member cabinet mission came to India to discuss and negotiate with the national leaders to come up with a plan to transfer power from the British to the Indians. Are you able to understand? So, cabinet mission came to India to discuss with our national leaders like Nehru, Gandhiji, and others to transfer power from British to India. So under this scheme, they said we will constitute a constituent assembly. We will come up with a constituent assembly. What is the role of constituent assembly? It had two roles. One, it will frame the constitution for India. What it is now has been framed by the constituent assembly. Second, it also acted as the first parliament of free independent India. Did you understand? So it was the parliament till the new constitution comes into existence. Correct? Now it came into existence in 26 November 1949. Till then, after independence, till then, which was the parliament? It was the Constituent Assembly itself, acted as the first parliament. So that Constituent Assembly was constituted in November 1946 under which plan? Cabinet Mission Plan. So Cabinet Mission comes up with a plan to come up with a Constituent Assembly who came with that. So the first meeting was held in December 9th, 1946. Its first meeting was held. So this Constituent Assembly was partly elected and partly having nominated members. So elected members from British India, nominated members from the princely states. So the first meeting was held in December 9th, 1946. After this, after 4 days, on 13th December, Jawaharlal Nehru came up with objective resolution. So in few days, you all will come up with New Year resolution. Correct? No. What is New Year resolution? What is your objective for the next 1 year? That I will study hard, I will clear prelims, I will do that, do this, go to gym, go running, do yoga, right? Travel, be happy, I will not cry. All those resolutions you make, no? Same way, Jawaharlal Nehru came up with objective resolution for the Constituent Assembly. Meaning, what is the resolution of the Constituent Assembly? What they say that we will do, what they will achieve. Meaning, what does it contain? What Constituent Assembly hopes to achieve. What Constituent Assembly hopes to achieve was listed by the speech given by Jawaharlal Nehru on 13th December 1946, which is called as objective resolution. Now, why am I telling this objective resolution story is because whatever was said in the objective resolution becomes the preamble at the end. You understood? Okay, so he says that we aim to establish India as an independent sovereign republic, secular to all people, India, justice, economic, and that itself is changed to become the preamble of the constitution. So, what was the aim becomes the preamble. Ultimately, the constitution achieved or constituent assembly achieved it. So, therefore, they have put it in the preamble. Preamble is an introduction which shows the aims of the constitution. That is what. So, 13th December, Jawaharlal Nehru moved objective resolution, which is nothing but the fundamentals and philosophy of the constitutional structure. For example, we aim to resolve to establish, we resolve to establish India as an independent sovereign republic. We aim to secure to all people India. So he gave this speech saying that we shall secure to all the people of India justice, social, economic, and political justice. Like this, he listed out the objective resolution. This was unanimously adopted on January 22nd, 1947. So this is the brief history about objective resolution. Did you understand? So what is this objective resolution? Before the framing of the constitution, even before we framed the constitution, they came up with the resolution. Okay, it defined the aims of the constituent assembly. This resolution enshrined the aspiration and values behind the constitution making. It provided the fundamental commitment of the Constituent Assembly. The commitment was that we will establish equality, we will establish liberty, democracy, sovereignty, and cosmopolitan identity. It also enshrined the moral commitment of the constituent framers, of our national leaders. Okay, that is what is objective resolution. Who did not understand this? Is that clear? The words I will explain. But the essence is what? Objective resolution tried to achieve these things through framing India a new, brand new constitution. To achieve what? To achieve equality, liberty, democracy, sovereignty, cosmopolitan identity, moral commitment having enshrined in it, all these things. Cosmopolitan identity means an identity which respects diversity. A cosmopolitan culture means diverse culture. It is not like one homogeneous culture. Does India have an homogeneous one culture? We have a cosmopolitan culture where we give respect, identify everybody's culture, respect everybody's culture, everybody's language, everybody's food, everybody's dressing. That is what is known as cosmopolitan identity. So Constitution recognizes that. You don't have to have one way of life. You can have many ways of life. That's the cosmopolitan idea. Is that okay? So, coming back to some facts. So, what is preamble? Preamble is the introduction or a preface to the Indian Constitution. Over, all of you understood that? It is influenced or based on what? Objective resolution. Who tabled the objective resolution? Nehru. Okay, these are some facts. It has been changed. It's not in its original form. It has been amended. Okay, once by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976, where the word socialist, secular, and integrity have been added. Okay, so just to, you all would have seen these preamble in your books, etc. So, we the people of India, having solemnly resolved, okay, just appreciate it, okay, constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure. So, if you look at this para, we the people of India, so who is giving this constitution? We the people. Is it God? No. Is it the Britishers? No. Is it some alien? No, it is we the people have decided to give ourselves this constitution. So what is the source of power of the constitution? We the people, not the British, not divine source. In some country, it is taken in the name of God. Nothing like that. It is we, the people of India, have given us this constitution. Okay, all this will be asked so many places, either in prelims, mains, interview also they can ask. So it is we who have given us this constitution. The power of the constitution comes from where? From the people, not from God. In many countries, it is like that. Okay, divine source. It is nothing divine. It is from the people of India. Having resolved to constitute India, what will be India? Will India be a dictator government? Will India be a presidential form government? It says India will be a sovereign country, a socialist, a secular, a democratic republic. Okay, that is what is India. It is the nature of India. What is India's feature nature? India is a sovereign country, a secular country, socialistic country, democratic country, and a republic country. I'll explain all these in a while. And next part, that's number one, the source. Number two is the nature of India. Number three, secure all its citizens. That is aim of the constitution. What is the aim of the constitution? To give every citizen, you and me, justice, liberty, equality, fraternity, ensuring dignity of individual, unity and integrity of nation. So what are we promote? We want to give them justice, liberty, equality, fraternity, dignity, and unity and integrity. This is the aim of the constitution. So justice, what all justice? Social, economic, political justice, liberty, freedom, freedom of thought, freedom of expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status, of opportunity to promote among them fraternity, brotherhood, by assuring dignity to all, and to promote unity and integrity. Then the next information that you get is when did this constitution came into force, that came into existence. Our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949. That is when the constitution comes into existence. Okay, hereby adopt, enact, and give ourselves this constitution. So when was it adopted? 26th November 1949. It came into force January 26, 1930. 1950. Okay, 1950. Why was this 26th January decided? What is the significance of 26th January? In 1930, okay, there was a call for Purna Swaraj. In history, you will be reading. So Purna Swaraj, complete independence, was declared on 26th January 1930. So in order to commemorate that day, Purna Swaraj, complete independence, this Republic Day was fixed on 26th January 19. Yes, correct. So Purna Swaraj for that purpose. Okay. Anyway, so that's okay, some fact that you can remember. So what all information did you get? What do you get from this? The source of power, nature of Indian state, goal, aims of the constitution, and when did it come into, when was it adopted? So these are the four information that you can get from the preamble. Now let's see each word that needs to be explained. Okay, each word that needs to be explained. So what do you mean by a sovereign country? So what are the, so this is fine. What information you get? Four information you can get from preamble. Next, let's try to understand some of the terms that are there in the preamble. So get familiar with it. Some of you might know it. We'll try to explain it. So first one is sovereign. I have marked it in red there. So India is a sovereign country. What does that mean? Yes. So sovereign country means India is an independent country. We are not dependent on anybody. We are not a dominion. We are not a colony. We are and sovereign country means we are independent country. Being an independent country, India can acquire new territory. India can give away territories. India can go on war with another country. India can declare war. India can conclude peace with another country. India can become members of other international organization. Becoming a member of an international organization does not take away our independence. India is a member of United Nations. By becoming a member of United Nations, it is not taking away our independence. Did you understand? So what do you mean by independence? We are not a colony of another country. We are not a dominion of another country. Have you heard of this word dominion? So India was a dominion from 1947, after 15th August 1947, when we got independence, till 26 January 1950, India was a dominion of Britain. A dominion of Britain. Before 1947, India was a colony of British. We were not sovereign. So we became sovereign after the constitution came into force. What do you mean by this dominion? Dominion is a political title that is given to a country which has colonial relationship with the British. It is independent, but usually in a dominion, the head of the state is appointed by the British. Like how Australia, the head of Australia, okay, is appointed by the British Queen. So Australia is kind of dominion of the British. It is independent, but it has got ties with the British. We do not have that. So till 1947 to 1950, the head of the state, okay, the Viceroy and Governor General of India, they were called. Today we call it President. Earlier it was Viceroy and Governor General of India. You remember Mountbatten and all that. So they were appointed by whom? By the British. So even after independence, they were appointed by the British. So we were a dominion. We were independent. We could take independent decision, but we were a dominion. So dominion status is a political identity given to countries who is having colonial. Okay. So you might have heard about Commonwealth. Yes, Commonwealth Games you have seen. Yes. So what is this Commonwealth? Commonwealth nation. Yes. So those countries which were colonized or colony of British, they are called as Commonwealth nations. That's why we have Commonwealth Games. All the countries who were erstwhile British colonies, they play a game called as Commonwealth Games. Is that okay? Commonwealth nations. So when India was a part of this Commonwealth, before 1947, it was a colony. After 1947 till 1950, it was a dominion. So what is dominion? These countries are independent, but they have political ties with the British. Like the head of the state is appointed by the British. The head of the state may be nominal, but they will be appointed by. So Australia, the Queen is the head of the state. They are independent, but the Queen is the head of the state. Canada, the Queen is the head of the state. Did you know that? Okay, they are independent, but the head of the state is Queen. So Queen appoints a governor and he goes and represents the Queen in Canada. So that fellow becomes the nominal head. In ours, who is the nominal head? Who appoints president? Who elects? So president is elected. Is that okay? So we are no more a dominion. We no more a member of Commonwealth nation. We play Commonwealth games, but we are not members of Commonwealth nations. We are member of Commonwealth group. That's the difference. So all these are different. So we are not Commonwealth nations because today we are an independent country. That is the meaning of sovereign. All of you understood? We are sovereign. We are not dependent. We are not a dominion. Because we are independent, we can go on war. We can conclude peace. We can take over territories. Have you taken over any territories after independence? You guys don't read newspaper? No, that is okay. Recently, we celebrated what? Okay, Bangladesh also. Goa liberation movement. Yes, no? What did we do then? Huh? So Goa was under whom? Portuguese. We went, what is that operation called as? Blue Star. Blue Star is what? Punjab. It came in newspaper, no? When did it come? Couple of days back. What is this? Not fair. You should read newspaper. We give you current affairs update every day. You get messages. Yes or no? You get? No? WhatsApp me you get? No. Right? You should read all of that. Okay? So, Goa liberation. So, what did we do? We acquired Goa. From whom? Portuguese. Is that okay? So, like that, we can acquire territory. Okay. Anyways. Then, socialist. So, we are a socialist country.